The elite are going on vacation. By the way, if you think you're going to go to Hawaii, they're demanding vaccine passport now in Oahu and Maui. I'm not sure when it takes effect, but they have passed this. But the elite, they don't have to worry about that. I'm sure they're all vaccinated. But they're traveling. The stories are rampant. Peter Thiel. Yeah, Peter Thiel. He bought an underground bunker that was made into like a mansion with all kinds of luxuries. It was one of those old missile silos from the Cold War where they would have launched the ICBMs at the Soviet Union. But the elite are going underground. They're leaving the country. And as I talked to a couple people today, they're headed to New Zealand. Really? Why do they feel they need to go to New Zealand? Except for the Prime Minister. New Zealand's a wonderful country. It's absolutely beautiful. The people are unbelievably friendly. They're great people. We have a number of people that write to me from New Zealand, watch the show regularly. So why are they going to New Zealand? Because they have special places prepared for them in case things get difficult. Now, a couple of them leaving, you just go, well, maybe they're just going to spend a vacation. They want to save money on hotels, so they're just going to stay there. Okay? That's possible, one thing. The second thing, though, is they could be escaping maybe an emergency. No one has thought to ask them why they're leaving town en masse. And I think maybe it's high time we did. I think that when in Rome, you do as the Romans do, and I want to know why they're roaming around outside.
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha-Rakah Quadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure to the end. Shalom. All right, the elite, all right, of Esau's race, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, are running into these bunkers, all right, because their time is short. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai will soon be on their ass like white on rice. And they're trying to hide from the judgment, from the wrath of the Lamb.
Segment with Glenn. This is what happened.
I was told, prepare yourself for this one. This is bad news. And no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Our government is so out of control, and you know what the briefing was. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine anything that I want to do more than go on the air and scream this from the highest mountaintop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't tell you right now what is going on, but we're talking crimes against humanity. We are at that level with our government. It is, I've stood at the burning, smoldering rubble of the World Trade Center. It took me 10 years at least to get the smell out of my nose, okay? I've seen bad before. I've had bad briefings before. I've seen really horrible things happen in my life. Nothing like this. I would renounce my citizenship like that. What does it mean to be an American anymore? Evil. You know, I said early this morning at 7 o'clock this morning, Pat came in and said, I call this evil. And I was like, oh, that's not
right.
Evil.
All right, and when you Google American crimes against humanity, excuse me, it says war crimes, murder, massacres, dehumanization, genocide, ethnic cleansing, deportations, unethical human experimentation, which, you know, is going on right now with them Vanessas that they're mandating. extrajudicial punishments, which you got Jake suffering those, including summary executions, use of weapons of mass destruction, all right, the JAB, the Vanessa that they're mandating, state terrorism or state sponsoring of terrorism. Hey, they just dropped all kinds of weapons into the lap of the Taliban. Death squads, kidnappings, human trafficking. All right, majority of the human trafficking is being done by your government. Enforced disappearances, all right, which is crimes against humanity, which America is very guilty of. And the victim, the victim of these crimes are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which been scattered throughout the world as slavery. This is why in Revelation 6, verse 9, when he had opened the fifth seal, which is Yahushua, he opened the fifth seal. I saw under the altar of the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? All right? So, there's spirits in the spirit realm crying to the Lord. Verse 11, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren, which are Israelites, that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled, which were in that time. All right, you got to remember Biden, all right, on September 9th, 2021, the year of hastening the coming day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he said their patience is wearing thin. Well, soon they're going to pretty much put the Israelite to death that doesn't obey their mandates, whether it's literally a guillotine chopping off your head, or they cut you off from society. You're not able to buy or sell. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and Yahweh and Yahushai are going to come and fight for us. They're going to save us. All right? The ones that are in repentance. There's 2/3 of the nation of Israel that is in disobedience, and they're going to go with the heathen and die with the heathen in his wicked abominations, which include the implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. 1/3 is going to reject it and be delivered. And I beheld, and when he had opened the sixth seal, lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, which is going to be a nuclear destruction of America. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, which is the nuclear missiles, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, which is dealing with these elite, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens of the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him, Yahushai, that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And that's why they're running into those bunkers. All right? But they're not going to escape that easily. It tells you in Jeremiah 16. Verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, which are the prophets, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them, which were fishing with the word. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them, which we're going to be made gods, given new bodies, and we're going to be able to hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. So he sees their war crimes against humanity, starting with the Israelites. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. Excuse me. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. So who's in our land? You got the Jewish Edomite, and they have us in slavery all over the world, starting with the American Edomite. And what do? They teach our people to do abominations. That's why it tells you in Isaiah 3, verse 8, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Look at Little Nas. Look at 6ix9ine. Who's pushing them to be like that? The so-called white men. Woe unto their soul, right? The 2/3, they're going to suffer destruction, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves, because they participate. Say ye to the righteous, pertaining to the apostles and elders and prophets, starting with great millstone, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings, which is the fruit of our lips. We're prophesying. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will save us, and it's going to come to pass. Verse 11, woe unto the wicked. The wicked are the so-called Caucasians, the ones that rule the world, the elite. It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. And it includes the trailer trash Edomite too, but the judgment is against the elite, because they're the ones controlling everything. Alright, your trailer park trash Edomite ain't controlling shit. They're actually a slave right next to Jake. But it tells you right here, alright, it says in verse 10 of Obadiah, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, which are the Israelites, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And you heard that Glenn Beck, he says the shit that they have on paper is so evil, he wants to give away his citizenship. Alright, because he don't want to be associated with it. But he is, because he's actually a Mormon. And the Mormons actually slaughtered the Northern American Indians and took their land, which are Gadites, as well as they blasphemy against the Judites, saying that's the image of Cain, when in fact the so-called white man, alright, has the mark of Cain. Cain lost his melanin after he killed his brother Abel and hid his body, which Esau, Edom, the forefather of the so-called white race, is the reincarnation of Cain. That's why he was born lacking melanin. Verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. So the salvation is only for the Israelites. All these heathen that are on this earth today are going to suffer this judgment. But Esau is going to get it the worst, the so-called white race. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Which, what did they do? They enslaved us and abused us. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. And the next verse, 11, is pertaining to America. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, which on September 8th, 2021, the year of hastening the coming day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you just witnessed that. All right, the 2 horns is the Republican, the Democrat, and them speaking as a dragon is with their mandates, their draconian law. All right, which it says in Isaiah 10, verse 1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that prescribe grievousness. This is why they're running for the bunkers, because woe unto them. All praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaRukakudash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure to the end. Shalom.